today, well, we're moving the gimbal. All right, today we're here with the BMW 760 Li. We are finishing up the coolant transfer pipe repair, and we're using the Bimmerfix kit to do so. So let me kind of show you what we got going on here. This is the Stent fix kit that we're using on this V12 BMW. You can see this one is for use with the BMW N73 V12 engine. Somewhere on here it also said Rolls-Royce. I don't know, maybe it was just a sticker that I've already peeled off. Anyways, this is the kit specifically for the V12 BMW, so you will need that. But basically what we've already done here, let me whip my light out. What we've already done here is we have glued this stent in here, not glued, but pasted it in. Let me zoom you out. Thank you guys for hopping in the live stream. Let me see if I can uncrush this enough to read the label. Probably not. Anyways, I find this hilarious. This is a tube of coolant pipe sealant that they have labeled Bimmerfix, which, I mean, there's just something funny to me about a tube of paste being labeled Bimmerfix. Anyways, this came with the kit. Let me show you what else came with it. So there's the Stent, which is already in there. You can see it's already in place in the coolant transfer area. So we had the Bimmerfix coolant pipe sealant tube that came with the kit. Some rubber gloves. The Stent was in here. Let's see, what else am I missing? This This beautiful sanding rod, which they have provided you, which is a dowel of wood wrapped in sandpaper, but that's okay. That is basically what you stick inside of this tube, and you do whatever. And then what else did they give me? They gave me this thing, which is a basically paint roller, which they suggest that you do the thing again to clean this transfer pipe area out. I have already sanded, cleaned, pasted, and inserted the Bimmerfix Stent in here. Well, let's get this light somewhere better. Something like that. Anyways, so the Stent is in here. It's all sealed in. They said that the surface of this timing chain cover coolant pump area should be level with this Stent. Mine, I don't know if you can tell here. Let's zoom you guys in really quick. Mine does, so they say that these two surfaces should be completely level. Mine, you can see there, it does catch. So my Stent is sticking out a little farther probably than they would want it to be, but I'm going to slap it together and hope it works okay. That's as far as I could get it in there with all the sanding. I even sanded the Stent down even more. Man, I was working on cars. Heck yeah, Darth Beaver. I don't, but I guess that's the BMW owner life. So basically what's next here? We still have this huge mess to put back together, so there's that. Right now we're getting this water pump over here prepped to go back in. We do have a new water pump, but I'm just using the gasket kit from it to put my old water pump back in, because why throw a good water pump in the junkyard when you've got a perfectly good water pump right here. So I don't know if you can see, let's see. Okay, so as you can see, there is still a little bit of sealant gasket material in these holes. You can even see some right here. On the outsides, there's still some sealant gasket stuff. There's even an O-ring still in here, so I'm going to pull this O-ring out, clean up these surfaces just a little bit more so that we have perfect, smooth sealing surfaces. Even a grain of sand in here would potentially cause a leak, which would necessitate this entire process being undone. So we do not want that. Also, I hope my garage space heater that I got going down here, I hope that is not creating too much noise. If it is, just let me know. Thank you to everybody who's hopping in the live right now. All right, so I'm just going to take some Scotch-Brite pad, wire wool, whatever you want to call it, and I'm going to continue rubbing it in here just to get the remaining crap gasket material out of here, and that should work just fine. If that's not working, I've seen some people try to use WD-40 to get it loose. Never really had to resort to that myself. Usually the wire wool works perfectly, but Eastwind Farms, how's it going? Thank you for popping in the comments. So I'm just going to buff these surfaces nicely so we get a good sealing surface. E30s all day. Yeah, the E30 would be a lot easier to work on than this thing, John. Unfortunately, I put myself in the mess of owning a V12 BMW, and here we are. So, water pump's out, we're reusing it. We got the, let's see. Oh yeah, okay, so we got the thermostat. This is the old thermostat as well. And what's funny is this gasket kit that came with a brand new water pump. This is the old water pump, but we did get a brand new water pump. This gasket kit, okay, just by itself, the cheapest I could find it for was $50, okay? With a brand new water pump, which didn't even list the MOL kit, gasket kit in the inventory of stuff that you would receive. The entire water pump was only $45. So why would I not just buy a whole water pump and get the gasket kit, which is the same brand that I was looking at, for $5 cheaper? I don't know. Anyway, so we got a brand new water pump sitting over here. This kit did come with the thermostat O-ring, which not all kits do. So that's something you want to make sure you have. And then this O-ring down here is going to go in this port right here. You can kind of barely see there's an old O-ring still in there. So I'm just going to buff these surfaces a little bit more. Hey, at least they are the only car manufacturers that still make OE parts for older cars. That is true, John Williams. I do appreciate BMW for that. My friends with Volvos are constantly bashing their heads against rocks, trying to find out who makes an aftermarket part or who has new old stock parts sitting on their shelves, because unfortunately Volvo discontinues their parts pretty much. It almost seems like as soon as the car or as the next model comes out. So at least BMW still has parts on the shelves and a lot of aftermarket parts to choose from. What temp thermostat do you run? I just run the stock thermostat. I honestly am not sure what temp it is. I would assume it's a 180, potentially 200 degree thermostat. There is no markings on it. This was probably an eBay thermostat to begin with, so that's probably, the brand is Waller, so. Oh, well, it does say BMW on it. I don't know. The brand's Waller. I have no idea what temp thermostat, whatever the stock thermostat is. I'm happy to see a young guy working on his car. Well, when you're trying to drive a V12 and you aren't rich yet, this is the only option we got. You a slider, like drifting, John Williams? I do not specifically drift, but I have been known to get it sideways from time to time. All right, we are almost there on this port. We're gonna pull the O-ring out of this port right next. Could probably use some better lighting in here. I gotta say, it's not, the E66 is not the best car for drifting. It's a little bit long, but it can spin the tires, so. You use liquid moly? Oh yeah, we use tons of different treatments on this car because we do not want to have anything that we can prevent from going bad go bad. So we use a little bit of seafoam every once in a while in the oil. Pretty much, I would say like 1,000 miles before I go to change the oil, I dump a little bit of seafoam in it. We use liquid moly, or if we can't get liquid moly, royal purple oil. We're constantly experimenting with fuel injector cleaners because I honestly have no idea which fuel injector cleaner is the best fuel injector cleaner. So I've just been running seafoam, royal purple, and gum out fuel injector cleaner through this thing constantly just to make sure. Heck yeah. What else do we do? Whenever I'm doing a job like this, if I can, even in this instance where I really didn't have the ability to, I ran some coolant system cleaner through there just because I knew I was going to be draining the coolant. So you can still see we got a little bit of sealer material still on there, but it's so smooth to the touch, I'm just going to leave it on there, and same with this side. We pretty much got everything off of this side, but you can still see a little bit of remnants, residue. It's so smooth to your finger that that's fine to me. All right, we're gonna pull out this O-ring now and make sure that surface is clean. All right, so for pulling out O-rings, I like using these things. These are like, I don't know what they are, dental picks or something. I found them at the hardware store, so I'm sure they're not dental picks. A miniature Dremel might help. You're right, that would be solid for cleaning up these surfaces. How many miles on the engine? Mark Stebbins, there are currently like 89,000 miles. We might be to 90. So we're just gonna get this tool in behind this O-ring. It's probably going to be mildly stuck in there because we used gasket sealer, and usually when you use gasket sealer it kind of glues everything in place, but you can see, I don't know if you can see, I've gotten behind it, so it should just pop out now. I'm thinking, oh it'll break. Oh, that's not great. Wonder what kind of cheap gasket they gave me with this water pump. So you can see coming out, it broke. And I bet if I just, yeah, this thing feels brittle as heck, yeah. It's just breaking into pieces. So I don't know if they didn't give me a high temp O-ring with the kit that came with this water pump, but that certainly did not do what you would expect it to. This water pump's only been on the car for, I don't know, 1,000 miles. So that's pretty scary. Definitely, if you're replacing the water pump, replace this O-ring for sure, because I mean, mine, as you just saw, crumbled into bits. We're also going to pull out this gasket while we're here. If we can get the tool under it, there we go. Awesome. And we didn't use gasket sealer in any of this, so we don't have to clean that up, but we did use gasket sealer in this hole, so we're going to clean that up a little. You broke it, sir. Oh, yeah, Sally. I did break it. I did 100% break it. Thank you to everybody who's tuned into the live stream right now. We are fixing this BMW's water pump. Actually, not the water pump really at all. What we had to do was put in this stent to fix the, where did my light go? The stent right here to fix the blown out coolant transfer pipe gasket, which is notorious for going bad and costing literally thousands and thousands of dollars to fix, because you basically have to tear the entire top end of the engine apart. I'm gonna try this Minute Maid Zero Sugar too. Just picked up some of these, so we'll see how it is. It's all right. You can kind of taste that it's fake sugar, and also that Minute Maid like zing is kind of not there. Anyways, let's keep clearing these ports out, and let's get this thing pasted back in place. Another thing, so I'm gonna use high temp, or I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. I've either got red RTV gasket maker high temp, which is what we used the last time to get this thing in here. That's right, big time lemon, Sally Boyer. Take it back to the dealer. Or we've got this Bimmerfix coolant pipe sealant, which I could use to seal some of these ports as well. So I'm not exactly sure which one I'm going to use. I had good luck with this one last time, so I think I might just try that again. But yeah, let's get these ports cleaned up here. I'm also going to stick this dental tool in here and just kind of rub it around in there to break up or break off any pieces of... Wow, you really can't see any of this. Let's see, maybe if I turn my... that did nothing. Okay. Well, anyways, let's see. I don't know. Maybe turning it this way will get you some more light. So yeah, I'm just gonna stick this tool in here and just kind of run it around and make a horrible nails on chalkboard sound to break up that gasket material. And I don't know if you can see it, but it's definitely coming off in there. I would say one of these tools is probably your best bet for cleaning this area out. Steel wool or a Brillo pad like this is not going to do it. Or at least not going to be able to get it in there like you need it to. There's a chunk. And again, if there is any gasket material in here when you put this thing back together, there is 100% the possibility of this all leaking again. So you will really, if you're doing this yourself, really want to make sure, even on other cars, you really want to make sure that everything's out of here. Even O-rings can leave residue in these little channels. There we go, there's another big chunk coming out. You just pretend like you're a dentist picking somebody's teeth, but you're a brokey working on a BMW. Or maybe that's just my case, I don't know. All right. I think I've rattled this thing around in there enough now. I don't see any more chunks breaking off or chunks in there. I don't know if you can see that little notch in here, but it looks pretty clear now, so. All right. Let's turn you guys back this way. How's it going, the deal for real? Good to see you in the live stream. Thank you guys for tuning in. All right, we're gonna disassemble our kit here. This is our, whoa, we're gonna lose it all. All right, so we got our thermostat gasket. We got this O-ring, which is gonna go inside of here. And we've got our thermostat, or sorry, not thermostat, water pump gasket. Now the Bimmerfix people will tell you to replace your water pump when you do the Bimmerfix kit. I would definitely be doing that myself if this was not a 1,000 mile water pump. I've only had 1,000 miles on this thing before it blew up. Mile for the win, heck yeah, that's right. In a parts cleaner? Do you put your parts in a parts cleaner? No, I do not have a parts cleaner, Sally Boyer. My parts cleaner consists of brake cleaner, which sometimes I will use. No, we don't even need it. Brake cleaner, a Brillo pad, and my little dentist picks. That should be as good of a parts cleaner as you need for this job, at least. If we were taking the valve covers off and wanted some reassurance that there wasn't any varnish on them going back in, all right, we just pop that O-ring in. Let's see if you can even see it. Yeah, you can kind of see it. Black rubber seal is fitted in its groove in here. You can see it in there a little better. This port does not get any O-ring whatsoever, so we're gonna RTV this. Yeah, no worries, Sally, no worries. Let me show you what this connects to really quick. So that little O-ring is what connects to this piece, which has, this is literally just a pipe, guys. There is no flared end on the end of this pipe. This is literally just a straight pipe. And you might want to check the condition of this pipe when you're putting everything back together too. Just kind of run your fingers around it, because I don't know how it happens, but there are little burrs on the end of my pipe that I have had to sand down, and those would have 100% cut into that O-ring installing this and completely screwed that O-ring up. The other part that doesn't get a gasket is this pipe right here. And this pipe, just like this pipe down here, have a flared end that is molded in rubber over the end of it. So you can see this, this end has like a little, it looks like it's an O-ring on the end of it, but that is a rubber molding that goes completely down the pipe, and it actually has another one of these flared rubber molded ends on the other side. This pipe connects to the alternator, which is for some reason water cooled on this model. But again, this pipe right here has the same thing. It's coated in rubber and has a little flared end just like this thing down here. Custard pump needs cleaning. That's right. The custard pump has failed. All right, so we've got this O-ring in. We've got this gasket in the water pump. We're gonna squeeze some paste into here and into here. And actually, now that I think about it, I really want to make sure that this pipe right here, where is it? This pipe right here has all the old gasket material. Shoot, come on, gimbal. All right. I just want to run my fingers around it, jeez, to push off any old material. Thank you for everybody who's in the live watching right now. I'm glad it's me and not you. That's all I gotta say. At least doing this job. All right, so I feel like I've flaked off all the gasket material I really need to. Luckily, it literally just peeled right off of this pipe, so. Feels smooth all the way around, as it should. All right, guys, we got 50 people in here. Let's do a poll. All right, so the pole is going to be between these two things. I'm setting it up right now. We got red RTV gasket maker high temp, or we got the Bimmerfix coolant pipe sealant. Those are our two options to choose from. Let me start the pole, hold on. I just spell sealant, S-E-A-L-A-N-T. Also, if you guys could put a donation in the chat so Trashy could go back to college and learn how to spell, that would be freaking awesome. But anyways, red one, says Sally Boyer. I like your thinking, Sally. We used the red one before, and we did not have any leaks with the red one. This one, I don't know. This came with the kit, so I'm kind of curious to use it. I definitely don't want to have to end up taking this apart again, but I mean, if it can seal a stent, which here, I'll show you where it's already being used. It's already being used to put this stent in, which replaces a gasket, so all around this thing in here is this sealant. We got 4 votes. Thank you to those who are voting. Red high temp gasket maker. Okay, it sounds like we've got a consensus. Let's use what we know works. I'm sure this thing is nice and plugged up, so this stuff just peels right off the end though. That's nice. Maybe we can pull a big old booger out of here. Come on, big old booger. Trashy wants to see you. Oh yeah, it's coming. Oh yeah. Oh, it broke off. That is sad. All right, well. It's also receding back into the tube. Interesting. Oh. Looks like everybody agrees the red high temp gasket sealer is what we should be using. Oh, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. There we go. There's the booger. Hopefully this is still good. I did not, oh, you know what? It might not be. Because the end of this thing is definitely dried up. I don't understand how this stuff goes bad. You know, they give you a cap to put on it. I mean, I can definitely cut this thing open and we can still squeeze it out. Let's do that. Where's my razor blade? All right. I'm back. You know what? I'm also turning off the heat. We don't need the heat anymore. There we go. Now it's a lot quieter. All right. Thank you guys very much for voting in the poll. All right. We're just going to slice this thing open and squeeze some bullpucky out. Yeah, there we go. Oh, there we go. All right. They gave me gloves. I'm a harsh glove advocate, I mean, harsh glove opposer. But I suppose in this instance, I guess we should use 2. There's 1. They gave me a whole lot of them. Might have to take these to the org with me. No, mix up both, half and half. I love it, Max 1. Dang, I should have made an option for that. All right. So I'm just going to squeeze this out. A little dab will do ya. And let's just kind of gently smear this around the inside. Or, yeah, something. Oh, maybe I should get it in frame. Let's see here, yeah. This is BMW approved right here. Okay. Something like that. My beautiful gasket maker sealant job. Squeeze a little more out. This stuff smells like vinegar. I don't know what they're making this stuff with, but it reeks like vinegar. Oh my God, it smells like it's straight up white vinegar in a bottle. There's got to be some vinegar component to that. All right, now we're gonna smear some on the inside of here. Try not to push it too far into this area. Do a little bit more down here. Yeah. Would BMW approve? I think so. Let's see, looks like we could use a little bit more in this area. Although maybe not. Let's just leave it. We got a good wall built up there. So when we push that thing in, all that gasket will, or sealer, will push in right in there with it. So the other thing that we need to think about is this hole right here. This hole is right off of the pump area. And this is where that little tube that I showed you guys with the, I don't know what you'd want to call it, lipped, flared kind of preformed seal around the tube goes in. And there is nothing in here for an O-ring to go into or anything. So just to make sure that that little pipe and its preformed O-ring gasket outside thing seals, we're going to smear a little bit of this goop in that hole too. Now, definitely if you're doing this yourself, be conservative with this gasket maker. Because especially on this hole, there is the chance that when you push that tube in there, that the gasket maker will all bunch up and push out of the end of the, or push out around the end of the tube, and that could potentially clog this hole and eliminate coolant going to your alternator. So that would not be good. Pull this glove off. Put a neuther one on. I'm actually going to wipe my nose really quick, because I definitely have rubbed something on it. Alrighty then. Let's put our other glove on. All right, and I'm gonna bring you guys over to the car here, and we are going to try, if this gimbal will stop shaking like crazy, we're gonna try to jam this water pump back in place, how it goes, where it goes. So, should I try and do this one-handed while filming? Probably not, but let's just do it. Why not? Let's see. Is there any way I can hold this? Not. Oh, okay, it's kind of staying. That definitely scares me, but okay, let's try it. So, again, let me get this thing in here. We got this hole right here, which is going to connect to, oh, of course, I blocked my light. This hole right here is going to connect to this pipe sticking out down here. Come on, focus, you piece of shit. You're not, the freaking water pump isn't even in view. Focus, come on. There we go. Okay, so this pipe right here that goes to the alternator. That's where this is going to go. Everything else, oh, I'm already touching stuff with gasket stuff. We got these two pipes up top here that are just going to plug in. I'm going to move this coolant hose down out of my way somewhere, somehow. Okay. I'm going to start by pressing that tube for the alternator in, and I just felt it click in. And we got our gasket in there, so that's good. And now I'm just going to, let's see if I can show you here. We've got our two pipes right here, and we're going to give this thing a good push. The amount of confidence this thing gives me is almost none. Almost none. Okay, so it's already fallen off. You would expect that when you press that onto those pipes up here, that it should stay. So I'm going to try this again. Let's try it again. Where even is the stuff I'm working on? Seriously, where? There we go. There's the stuff I'm working on. Okay. The other thing that I just remembered that I'm slightly majorly worried about is the bottom screw. So maybe I'm going to pull this apart really quick. Oh, Trashy, you're screwing it all up. Well, yes, I am. That humming is just me meditating, so I have the strength and the power to get this stupid water pump in. Okay. So, since I didn't take off this big pulley right here, we need to put the bottom bolt in the water pump while we are installing it, because we will not be able to get it in once this water pump has been smashed into place. Okay. Sticking that little pipe back in to the water pump. And of course, you know, there's still coolant in it, which is definitely not advised. Definitely make sure that all the coolant is drained out. Did I get the bolt behind the thing where it needs to be? I think I did. I think I did. Seems to be in the correct place. Okay. Now let's line these pipes up again. I can't see anything. Looks like we're lined up. And you just want to press this water pump on. Wow. Why does something just not feel right here? There we go. I think that feels right. We're son of a goon. All right, guys. If you got kids in the room, we're pretty close to the adult language segment of this program. Just a warning. Okay. I just felt it slide on again. I think, please, BMW gods, tell me, no. No, the bolt fell out. Gosh, dang it. All right. Take this whole thing out again. Our bolt down here fell out. Now I gotta find that too. No idea where the heck it went. Let's zoom you guys out. It's definitely down right in here somewhere. And you can see I've already made a nice mess of things. All right, where's a magnet? We're gonna try this little pen with a magnet on the end to find it first. Probably not going to work. Probably, yep, dropped it right on the ground. Okay. Well, we found it. Let's try this all over again. Bottom bolt. Gonna re-smear some of this gasket sealer to where I want it and not all over the frickin' place. Where's my other? Oh, we're gonna need some more sealer for that area. Okay. Where is a piece of scrap that I can use? Here's a nail. That'll work. All right. Let's wipe our hands off again. Okay, let's try this all over again. BMW, like the trashy V12 one on this channel is named for. Yep, that is unfortunately the case, Lord Bynham. Okay, so we've got our bolt in here, which we need to have in here because we won't be able to get it behind the main pulley unless it's in there. Gonna line this thing up with the alternator coolant pipe. You know, any normal car, this would just be as simple as just slapping it on and bolting it up. But, you know, what kind of production value would that give me? Oh, okay. This is the part I think we've been hanging up on this entire time. And I seem to remember really having an issue with the first time I tried to get this in here. The nice thing is once you get this water pump down here in this area with that bolt in, it won't be able to come out because it'll just hit the pulley. But if you're like me and your water pump doesn't want to slide over these tubes, oh yeah. You really, really, really have to apply a lot of forward force to this water pump to get it over those tubes. Oh, everything's scaring me here. Okay. Are we on? Are we semi-lined up? We are on, and we are what I would call very semi-lined up, or at least lined up with that tube and lined up with this tube. So, I'm going to start twisting in this bottom bolt, so at least it's started and doesn't fall out on me again. Max 1. Okay. Whatever you say, Max 1. Mercedes, no. Uncomfortable truth. This is a V12 BMW 760 Li 7 Series E66. A lot of mumbo jumbo right there. Basically, it's a money pit. It's what we're dealing with here tonight. And I cannot for the life of me get this bolt threaded, and probably because I'm misaligned somewhere, some way, somehow. Okay. Oh, all right. I feel threads. We are catching on something. Yes, we are threading. I feel horizontal alignment. Thank you to the 30 people who are dealing with me as I struggle through this. I had an E31 850i, hated working on that V12. I2, what's your name here? Levy, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, sir. We'll just call you Levi. Levi I2 had a M73 V12. Let's turn this thing a little bit. Which is the V12 I'm sure you're referring to, because that was only made for two models, the 750i and the 850i. And yes, I too had the M73 V12. I thought it was a lot easier to work on than this thing. So, it doesn't completely surprise me that you hated working on it, but if I could go back, I probably would. 1989 was the year of the 750 I had. Actually, I had a few. I had three of them. And one was a 1987, one was a 1989, and the other was a 1989. All right. So we got one screw bolt. We got one of these bolts in the bottom. We got one put in over here on this side. There still needs to be another that gets put in right up here somewhere. And there still needs to be another put in over here. And then there's a super long one that goes in the very, very top. So let's get all of these bolts in. And again, I actually have no clue if we've seated these upper pipes that connect to the water pump or not. I know I'm lined up with them, but I'm assuming that we're either seated or at least lined up enough so that when I start tightening this thing up, we will suck the water pump right to it. Hope everybody's having a lovely Sunday evening and not working on their BMW tonight. Save it for a weekday when the work gets done. Anyways, all right, there's my other bolt hole. I'm sorry you guys really can't. No BIMs, gotcha. What are you working with, Max 1? I can kind of see your picture down there. It's kind of hard to make out. The Talking Koala. I'm sorry, I have been ignoring your chats, The Talking Koala. I just noticed that you are a person and not just redacted chats. Never a BMW again. Problem cars. Yes, exactly. Problem cars, and that is about it. They're fun for the 10 seconds that they are running. Getting gasket sealant where it shouldn't be. Awesome. Let's screw in some more of these bolts. And I'm basically just going to go around this water pump in a cross star design direction. Why do I have more bolts here than I remember taking off? Oh, that's why. Okay, we're good. Still need to attach the thermostat. Okay, so this longer than the rest bolt goes in the very top. There we go. Haven't worked on a 7 Series. How much room do those have to work with? The 90s ones. Yeah, so if you have a 740i, you have plenty of room. If you have a 750i, you're pretty limited. The one thing that I do really appreciate they still gave you some room for, which I mean is pretty useless to most people, but you know, actually there are a few much better things about the 90s V12s than the 2000s. Well, this is a 2004. I think that was the first year they offered this V12, the N73. But anyways, There's a few things that are nice about the older V12s, and the header access on the sides of the engine is much, much, much easier to access, especially than this engine. This engine, you have literally 3 bolts on this side of the engine that you can pretty much access, and maybe 2 or 1 bolt on this side of the engine that you can access for the headers, at least. If you ever wanted to remove, replace, upgrade, whatever, do anything with the headers on this new N73, you pretty much have to remove the entire engine. There might be some trick way around it with wheel well access or something, but even at that, it's not going to be fun at all. CSI 635i is a better car. That is true, Max 1. I would take one. Okay, so we've gotten all of our bolts in, one in the top, one in the side. You can see it right here. One in the corner, one on the bottom, and one over here. If I can, is it there? Somewhere? There it is. Okay. All the bolts are in. I'm going to use a wrench on this bottom one, which we can barely access. You know, I wonder if I can get a light down there to maybe see something. I can get a light. Oh, there we go. I can see it. Okay. Yeah, let's use the belt as a way to prop up the light. Perfect. Okay, let's see. Can we freaking focus, you camera? God dang you. All right. There we go. Okay. We're just gonna slowly start torquing these down. Torquing them down, torquing them down. You already know. And then we're going to use, wherever I put the 10 mil, we're going to use the 10 mil socket on the rest of them. Where the heck is the 10 mil? Who lost the 10 mil? Oh, trashy. God dang you. Alright, well, we're going to have to break out the emergency resupply 10 mil. Because we lost the original. Alright. 10 mil socket. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. They're so loose, you can't even start tweaking them down until, or without holding the socket. And I really am scared about over tightening stuff, so I get them all nice and snug, and then we just give them a nice little bump. Let's see here. Okay, I can see pretty much all the way around the water pump that we are seated, so those top tubes that are up here and up here must have seated correctly, either while I was tightening these up or when I was pressing it on to begin with. And I was really hoping to fill this thing up with coolant and run it by tonight, but we did not get the coolant because the auto parts store had already closed. So that'll be tomorrow. That'll be tomorrow. We get it running, but snap-on ratchet, is it? I do have some, this, let's see, would you focus? All right. Sparta. This is a Sparta ratchet with, where is it? With a snap-on socket. Go figure. Where is it? There it is. Is this a robot live streaming? Yes. My name is TrashyBot. I'm your automotive service robot. Everything I do is perfect, and there is never any RTV sealant spread anywhere else other than gasket surfaces. And I never have to reapply the gasket sealant because I am so perfect, because I am a robot. You're doing that wrong. Oh, shoot. Do I have to take the whole thing apart, Moisty? Okay, the only one that's not tight, I'm just OCDing these. Okay, that's definitely tight. That's tight, and I know that top one's tight. The only one that we still have to work on is the very, very, very bottom one, which is behind the crank pulley. A lot of people loosen this crank pulley. There's 8 bolts inside of here. A lot of people loosen that up to get the water pump on this car off. I have never done that. Never had to. Just because you can... Oh, shoot, I put this thing on the wrong way. Of course I did. Just because once you get that bottom bolt loose, yeah, it's not going to slide out because it's still trapped in there by the water pump bolt hole containing it, and it not being able to slide out fully because of the water, or not the water pump, because of this pulley. It hits the back of it. But you can just pull the water pump out with that bolt still in the bolt hole, and the bolt will just come with it. You just got to make sure that you get the bolt in the bolt hole when you're going to reinstall it. And I can't get this thing on there for crap, so we're just going to a regular wrench. Those have always worked. Oh, wow, that was easy. Although, I'm in the state of eternal tightening. Oh, and of course, you know, my robot brain is turning it the wrong way. Absolutely. Come on, where the heck is the bolt? Okay. There we go. It's on. It's turning. It's not tightening yet. Thank you for dropping a like on this video, everybody who's dropped a like on it so far. If you guys aren't subscribed, please do consider subscribing to the channel. We do Scientology auditing in Chicago, and in the very small amount of free time I have, I attempt to maintain this V12 BMW, so all sorts of fun on this channel. I'm just getting quarter turn on top of quarter turn on this bolt right here until there we go, feel it snug up a little. And then after we feel it snug up a little, we're gonna go another half turn, so you know, maybe just a quarter. Let's see. It's definitely getting... Oh, just almost gave myself a neck cramp. I did give myself a neck cramp. Oh. Gotta work out those neck muscles. Anyways. Better than an 8th turn. Yeah, that's true. Okay. We did about a third of a turn after it got snug. Water pump is on there, not going anywhere. I gotta say, there is a little tiny bit of play in there, but the bearings are still nice and solid. So we're gonna plug all of this crap back in now. Let me pull you guys away from here a little bit. This is the mess. For those who haven't seen the full extent of what we've been doing here. This is the mess we got going here on this BMW 760 Li. Let's see, we even got the badges to prove it. Do I still have the back badge? I think I do. Yes, I do. All right, there we go, 760 Li. You can give you a peek at my interior that's covered in blankets and trash. Oh yeah, look at that. Beautiful. All right. You've seen enough. Back to the task at hand. The water pump is on. Now we need to get this thermostat back on. Something I should have done before I attached this was make sure that this gasket surface, where you can't even see it, oh, come on, gimbal. The gasket surface on the end of this was completely smoothed out, clear, clean. You're doing a good job, but you're not working on my E63 wagon. Oh, that's pretty sick, Max. If you got an E63 wagon, that is pretty cool. Yeah, considering my use and execution of using this gasket sealer, I don't blame you. I wouldn't have me work on anything either. All right. This is our old thermostat. We're going to reuse it with our gasket right here that we got in this Mall kit, which came with a brand new water pump, oddly enough. Let's remove the old O-ring. Come on, there we go. Perfect. I would say let's make sure that the surface in there is nice and clean, but just by looking at it, you can, oh, maybe there is a little, no. That's just corrosion kind of that you see in there. Anyways, definitely make sure that the inside surface of that is all nice and smooth. That would be hilarious if this wasn't the correct gasket, but it can only be this gasket. Anyways. Doesn't fit too well, which is beautiful. Thank you, Mal. All right, there we go. The gasket is in there. Let's set that right in some gasket sealer. Lovely. Let's set that there for a second. Let's go take our sandy pad and hit the end of this water pump real quick just to make sure that any remnants of any old gasket are completely off of there. I'm pretty certain that there was no remnants because I was looking this water pump over before I even started this live stream trying to assess what I was going to have to clean up, and that did not come across my mind. Even I know I looked at it, so should be good, but let's just brush it up just to make sure. And let's stick this thermostat inside of it. All right. Can you see what I can see? Probably not. Yeah, let's shine the light right in your eyes just like I do to my dad. Okay. So this is just going to go inside of there. It is important that this temperature sensor is facing you, facing away from the front of the engine or towards the front of the car. And of course I didn't bring a single bolt, so let me go grab a bolt. These bolts, as far as I'm aware, are the exact same bolts that hold in the water pump minus the one long bolt, so let's get one in here, threaded, going. Come on. There she goes. Lord Bynum, thank you for hanging out with us. Max 1, very nice to meet you. I think it's the first time I've seen you in any one of my live streams, so thank you for tuning in. Fishwee 454. Thank you for thinking I'm a robot. Let's grab another bolt. Let's shine the light in your eyes just like I did to my dad. Anyways, there we go. If you plan on working on one of these cars, either make sure you have some thin, dainty lady fingers, or maybe you get your girlfriend to help you. If she's got thin, dainty lady fingers, I mean, not all of them do, but maybe someone you know with some thin, dainty lady fingers. Maybe your brother. Anyways. All right. I'm just going to knock over the camera here. I'm going to twist this one in some more if I can. Okay. Now we got the one all the way in back. This one should be lined up for us. It feels like it is. But even still, my thin, dainty lady fingers are struggling to get this twisted in. Oh, come on. Oh, no. Okay. Well, it looks like we're just going to have to break out the ratchet. I did have... Where did it go? Come on. I did have a nice little small extension, which we're going to need to use because... As you can see, if I put this on here, when I'm accessing the one all the way behind this pump, which there's 1, 2, and then there's a third one on the opposite side is right here, my ratchet will not clear the end of this. So you need a small extension to get on that back one. What I've done with the small extension, I don't know. Probably in the same place as my 10mm ratchet. So, in traditional trashy fashion, let's use an extension that's not at all appropriate for this job. And just hope it works. Also, in true trashy fashion, let's knock over the gimbal and break a couple $100 worth of gear. All right. And where is it? Come on. Get on there. There we go. Okay. Why do I feel... No, we're going the right way. Okay. Name the movie by car. It's not a movie, it's a TV show. Ford Fairlane. You know what movie that is? Lucifer's Hot Rod? Oh, wait, no, Eleanor, okay. Oh, I didn't know we're naming the name of the car. Okay. That's Gone in 60 Seconds. What is Christine? You know the movie? Christine? I don't think the movie's called Christine, no. Yes, gotcha. All right. That was a good one, though. Eleanor, that's a good one. Gone in 60 Seconds. I seem to remember doing a college project on... Oh, you know what I did? I redesigned the Gone in 60 Seconds movie poster. That's what I did. I'm betting it's with the 10 mil. Yeah, you're not wrong, Lord Bynum. I'm 100% sure wherever that 10 mil. Oh my God. Right as you say that, Lord Bynum, look what I just glance over at. The missing 10 mil connected to the missing extension on an unknown ratchet that I didn't even know that I had set up. So, thank you, Lord Bynum, for shocking me, or not shocking me, distracting me enough to look at that wrench that was sitting right in front of my face this entire time. Thank you. White CUDA and black Charger. Ooh, I know this one. It's got some girls who are buying the white CUDA, black Nova also. It's got some girls who are buying the white CUDA and they get chased. Come on, what is it? I've definitely seen it. Oh, come on, what is it called? I want to say it's like Hell something, or what the heck is it? Hellride? Is it Hellride or something like that? VW 53? Well, that's got to be Herbie, right? All right, we need the small extension or no extension now. Herbie, heck yeah. What is the right answer to the white CUDA and black Charger Lucifer's hot rod? Is that Hellride, or what the heck is it? Nope, Death Proof. There we go. Bonus points for the name of the stunt they do on the hood. I have no idea what the name for the stunt they do on the hood is, but I do know that she's hanging on the hood for dear life, about to fly off. So I definitely need to go back and watch that movie again. Death Proof, yeah. Ship's mast. Gotcha. Okay. Chugging some more of this zero sugar Minute Maid. It's not good. It's not good. Don't even bother. Unless you have diabetes, which I can understand. If you got diabetes, go for it. It's not Minute Maid. It's just not. Glad that's over with. Okay. Your red Fairlane named Christine is Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I want to say the movie was just the car or something like that. It's about a car that's possessed that drives around and kills people. I don't think it was. I don't. 99.9% sure it was not called Fast Times at Ridgemont High. All right. Here's a good one for you guys. Name the group in the black getaway van with her. Oh, that's the A-Team, brother. We know that. All right. Which one of you guys knows the movie with the red Ferrari GTO? And I want to say it's a GTO. It might be a GTB, but I'm 89.9% sure it's a GTO. Maybe it is a GTB now that I'm thinking about it. Anyways, red Ferrari, 1960s, 1970s Ferrari. Maybe Christine? Juan Salinas, we already, Magnum PI. Oh, that's a good one, Lucifer's Hot Rod. No, the Ferrari in the Magnum PI show / I don't know if there was a movie. In Magnum PI is a Ferrari Testarossa. I'm thinking of a different Ferrari. It's a convertible Ferrari. Although I'm fairly certain... It's a convertible in the movie I'm thinking of, although I'm fairly certain you could purchase this Ferrari in a non-convertible version, as I think you can pretty much purchase any Ferrari in a non-convertible version, but... Okay, that's nice and just over snug. 380 PI Nope, Testarossa is Miami Vice. Oh, shoot. Interesting. I might have to go back and rewatch frickin' Magnum PI now. I've been thinking that's a Testarossa for years in there. What am I thinking of? I guess the 308 and the Testarossa do look a little similar. All right. Thermostat's in. Thanks for keeping it light and fun, Lucifer's Hot Rod. Definitely appreciate the trivia questions. Okay. Thermostat is back on. Right there. Maybe I don't even know what I'm talking about. Hold on, guys. Never mind. Not even worth it. Green fastback Mustang. That would be Bullet. All right, what's next? I know there's something I'm about to forget here. It's not just as simple as bolting this water pump on and slapping everything back together. I know that. We got a coolant hose down here. That needs to go back on. Oh my God, if I can get this thing out. There we go. Oh no! The clip that holds this thing on is missing. Where's the other coolant pipe? That would be right here, and that one, as you can see, it has the metal clip. This one, where the heck did the metal clip go? This is not... Oh, I found it. It's in my pile of kitty litter. All right, well. Things are looking up. For 308 GTS, there we go. Yep, GTS. Thank you, Rid. I'm pretty sure the Ferrari I'm thinking of is a red Ferrari GTO. If anybody can name the movie with a red convertible Ferrari GTO, get at me. All right, let's stick this thing back on correctly. What's up, Rid? How's it going? Thank you for hopping in the live stream. And sharing some Ferrari movie trivia knowledge with us. There we go. Completely back in. We are. Did I just flip that down when I should have just kept it open? Of course I did. Okay, get our flathead under here. Pop that back up. Perfect. Plug it back in to the water pump. Make sure it is fully on the water pump and not just seemingly on with the clip latched down. All right, that's on. Oh, no, you can't even see it. The bottom tube running along here. Let's see, is there any way I can show you guys? Probably not. Yeah, it's so dark in there you can't even see it. There's a tube right here that I'm touching that goes... Let's see if I could... Yeah, you can see the clip on it. There we go. The clip is plugged in to the water pump. Trashy has 3 arms. I wish, Music. I didn't even see you were in here, Music. You must have been commenting before, and I... No, that was Harvey. Music, yeah. My Ford Contour is not a better car. Oh, and you were commenting other stuff. Instead of learning to fix a car, I have spent 30 years dreaming of being able to do it. Oh, well, it's never too late to start. I would get yourself a lawnmower and preferably one on the side of the road for free and just rip that thing apart and just start looking at the pieces and then learning the pieces. Because essentially, at the end of the day here, this V12 engine is just 12 single-cylinder lawnmower engines all connected together with a stupid fancy water pump and a stupid water-cooled alternator. Oh, what a good way to get into it. Yeah, honestly, it's seriously one of the best ways I've found or I've seen people get into it, just ripping apart a lawnmower engine. They're very simple, very easy to take apart. I would highly recommend ripping apart a lawnmower engine that you don't need to get back together. And yeah, just look at the parts, kind of see how they interact with each other, and then go from there. Start looking stuff up, learning names, understanding physics behind stuff, and you're good to go. Because, I mean, honestly, I will tell you, physics is a huge part of, or understanding physics is a huge part of knowing how to properly put something back together. Because, let's see here. I mean, understanding that this coolant system here, when things heat up, they expand, including the coolant inside the engine. So that coolant is going to create pressure on every single one of these hoses, of these seals. So knowing that this is a pressurized system, that comes a lot from understanding the physics of how everything works. And that will definitely play a large role in making sure that you get everything back together properly. All right. Let us stick the radiator back in, I think. I think this is the point where we can stick the radiator back in. I swear I'm going to start forgetting something. So I just really, really, really want to triple, double, quadruple check that I've got everything being hooked up here that I need to. These two plugs, one goes to the thermostat over here. It plugs in like that, plugged in right here. And this one goes to a temperature sensor, which actually I'm almost certain that these are both temperature sensors, and one is inbound temperature and one is outbound temperature. So plug those back in. I swear there is something that I unplugged down here. I swear. I remember telling myself, all right, there's 3 cables, and you better make sure to plug all 3 back in. How much do you guys want to bet I'm going to have to rip this whole thing apart just to plug in one stinking cable because I forgot to plug it back in at the end? I'd bet money on it. Okay, hold on. What is this? Yep, here's another one. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, no, you can't. Let me turn the camera. We're definitely going to have to figure out where in the heckin' this thing goes. Oh, you still can't see it, of course. Thank you to everybody who's here watching live. All right, so we got this other plug over here, and I honestly, it doesn't stretch very far. It must go into the radiator. Let me observe the radiator. No. There's nothing that plugs into the radiator. So, what am I forgetting? What am I forgetting? Definitely unplugged from something. We've got this thing over here. Welcome, everybody. If you've worked on a BMW 760Li and you remember what this plug goes to, please let me know. Don't know if you know the game Outrun from the old Sega. You drive a Red Testarossa, cool racing game. You know, I feel like I've played that on an arcade machine before. Not specifically on the Sega, but I think I do know what you're talking about. Outrun, yeah. Okay. Give me a few seconds here so Trashy can jog his memory on what frickin' thing plugs into this. What on green earth could plug into that thing? Let me look over here. Maybe there's something hanging, dangling, jangling around. Let's take you guys underneath with me so we can both look up at this mess together. Oh, yeah. There we go. I just see the one hanging. I don't see anything else. There's the one. You can see it hanging up there. What in the heck does it plug into? I knew it, guys. I knew I was going to put this thing back together, be so self-righteous and be like, oh yeah, I did this. And then have to rip everything apart again to plug one stinking connector back in. So, if you're doing this job, don't do it. Don't lose track of the connectors. And maybe, if you're really smart, label connectors. Trashy, on the other hand, thinks he's a know-it-all and completely lost the other connector. Where could it freaking be, guys? I've got the radiator out. I had the water pump out. Besides some hoses and... oh, maybe hoses? Hold on. Oh, I found it. I found it, guys. I didn't even think about this. You have done motor mounts yet? No, we haven't done motor mounts yet. Luckily, the motor mounts on this car are liquid filled. So when they do go bad, you know they go bad. And I have not seen any leaks from my motor mounts so far. So thank you, whoever hit that heart button. Thank you very much. I too love that we just found where that plug goes. Okay, so my mind's back on track. I'm going back to putting the radiator back in, but before, 2 seconds before I do that, oh, what the heck? Gimbal's tweaking again. All right, before we do that, we are going to put the belt tensioner pulley back on because we had to remove the belt tensioner pulley to get to the water pump bolts. You can see, if I quit blocking the light, right in front of my finger is a bolt. I hope you can see it. Right over here is where the pulley goes, and somehow, some way, there are alignments for this pulley, but I'm just gonna stick it, there we go. Okay, that's where it goes. So you can see it pretty much blocks that bolt that you need to access. Luckily, that's gotta be the way it goes, right? Yeah. Oh man, now it's kind of scaring me. Does it go that way? Does it go this way? I don't know. I'm just gonna start tightening it up. I have horrible steering wheel shimmy at 60 miles an hour, says Mike Miller. You have either blown out tie rod ends, a bad steering box, or a bad rack and pinion if you don't have a steering box. Those are the only other thing that I could think of, which could potentially be a possibility. Does this gimbal know how to freaking work? Jeez! All right. Okay. I'm gonna calm down. All right, we got this belt pulley tensioner thing back in. I hope this is the orientation it goes in. I'm not honestly 100% sure. I'm not even 50% sure. I think that's correct, but we're gonna find out here. The only other thing that it could be is sometimes in between your steering wheel linkages, Mike, are these like rubber bushings. So there will be a flange, aka a big metal U-joint end that connects to another flange. And sometimes in between those flanges, they will use a piece of rubber to kind of give those flanges a little bit of slack, slop, little extra tolerance, let's call it. And sometimes those rubber, I don't even know what you'd call them, guibos I've heard them called. I don't know if that's the official name. I've heard them called a guibo. Anyways, sometimes those little rubber things will wear out, break down, get really floppy and loose, and that can be translating shake or allowing looseness to happen in your steering system. So that could be it. I would definitely look into tie rod ends first, jack your car up, grab the tire by both sides, shake it back and forth, in and out, side to side, all over the place. See if you get any movement in any direction, Mike. Where is a 17? There we go. 17 millimeter. There's a joke in there somewhere. All right. Let's get a bigger, longer ratchet. There's a joke somewhere in there too. Just so everybody knows, pretty much 90% of the things you say while working on a car can be easily turned into a explicit metaphor, so pardon what I say sometimes, because it's probably does not sound appropriate, but I assure you most everything I'm trying to say here is appropriate. All right. Yeah, sure, that's good enough, right? All right. Now we need to reattach this pulley, which is the water pump pulley. This is where, oh no. Okay, so here's another good thing, guys. We had a little bit of that stint sticking out behind the water pump, and as you can see, I can spin this thing. We don't hear any knocking, we don't hear any scraping, so that is perfect, excellent, exactly how we want it. This is the pulley we're going to put back on here. No, it does not go this way. Make sure you look down and realize where your belts line up, how they line up. It goes, oh, okay. It goes 180 degrees and flipped around. So we're going to get this back on here. Just noticing this now, I guess it is lined up. Okay, never mind. It almost didn't look completely in line with the other pulley below it, but it is. So let me grab the bolts for it. Found them. Sorry about that. All right. Let's line up these bolt holes with the vision that I definitely do not have. There we go. Lord Bynum, I would check lug nuts first, then what Trashy said. That is true. You could have loose lug nuts, and that could create a little bit of wheel shudder. That actually is a good idea. You're onto something there, Lord Bynum, because loose lug nuts can definitely cause some wheel shudder. You will usually feel that wheel shudder if it is loose lug nuts. I mean, definitely a case-by-case thing, but usually not all your lug nuts are loose. Usually it's one wheel, maybe two. You will usually feel that shudder if it is loose lug nuts in either one corner or one area of the car, either one side. If it's two loose lug nuts on two separate wheels, you'll feel it on one side of the car, front of the car, back of the car, vice versa. The other thing that it could be, which is related to that, is, let me see actually, do I have any rims? No, I don't. Do I even have a wheel spacer? Probably not. Probably not. I probably threw them all out. Oh, here we go. Okay. So, if you've got wheel spacers or even if you've got rims, okay, let's pretend that this side with the lip here is the front of the rim, so what we're looking at here. And let's pretend that the back side is the back of the rim, which we cannot see because it's bolted to the face of the hub. Let's pretend that this is the back side of the rim, okay? If there is crap or gunk or dirt or anything on this surface that contacts the hub when you're putting the tire on, that can kind of offset, cock, or whatever, even if the lug nuts are super tight on this. And even if you're not using wheel spacers, even if you just have a regular rim, if there's gunk or crap or debris on the back of this area on your rim on the backside, that can, like I said, tilt one corner, one area in or out because there's stuff filling up a void or space in there. And that can definitely cause wheel shudder too. I have had that happen on multiple occasions where you just have the rims off for a little bit. You're just, I don't even know what, you're doing brakes or something like that. You smear some frickin' tar or brake grease or whatever the heck, dirt, gunk, whatever, on the backside of that wheel hub area, and that will definitely give you some problems when you bolt it back on, especially if you have wheel spacers on the car, because if you have wheel spacers on the car and you put that wheel back on with gunk behind it, it will be even worse because those wheel spacers create even more, what would you call it, leverage, length for that shimmy to shimmy on. So if any of that made any sense, basically just make sure the back sides of your wheels and your hubs too, because the back side of your wheel is important, but also so is that attachment point on the hub Thank you, Lord Bynum. Yes, you were muted so you couldn't hear me swearing in German. Yeah, sorry, I picked up that phone call with my girlfriend, and she, well, I muted it, and then she hung up, and I totally forgot to unmute, so thank you, Lord Bynum. If only I would have looked at the chat 5 minutes before, or 5 minutes earlier. Anyways, it turned a 5-hour drive into 14 hours. Oh, my brother sheared 2 lug nuts off a wheel on a road trip this winter in Wyoming. Wow. That's either got to be some heavy user error there, or he just got super lucky or something. I've barely ever seen a lug nut shear due to something that somebody did not cause themselves. I have had a lug nut break on me, actually twice, but it was both times because I was way over torquing the lug nut. And yeah, I would definitely say it was user error on my part. And then I don't think I've ever seen any other lug nuts break, at least while driving. Yeah, he fucked up. It happens, Lord Bynum, it happens. You get a little overzealous with those torque wrenches, or where's mine? No, I don't even have it. Sometimes you get one of those big crossbars that's got the bit on each end of the bar. Sometimes you start kicking those down, you're definitely over-tightening the crap out of those lug nuts. A lot of people think, you just stand on the bar, tightens everything up, but you might be stretching your lug nuts out. I kind of forget what the torque rating on mine is, but it's definitely not 140 foot-pounds, that's for sure. Super easy to over-tighten with a tire iron. Yes, there we go, Lord Bynum. Tire iron, yep. Very, very easy to over-tighten with a tire iron. Okay. We are getting somewhere, guys. We have the pulley on. We have the tensioner on. And you know what? Just to make myself happy, I'm going to dump a bunch of sockets off the front of my car. I'm just going to tighten this tensioner up again just to make sure that we have no potential for error. Oh, that's awesome. So apparently, once you put the belt on, no more tighten. Oh no. All right, well. 1 step forward and 2 steps back. Nobody gets too far like that. All right, we're doing it anyways. We're just going to pop this belt off very, very, very quick. It should be very easy. Just like that. And now let's double check that we got this belt tension. Oh, I can't even see what's going on. I'm so sorry, people. It's kind of amazing to me that this... Oh, why not put the freaking radiator right in the camera? Okay. That's tight. All right, so we are now... Once I get this belt back on, we are now going to put there we go. The belt just popped right back on. It knew where it wanted to go. All right. Is everything still lined up? Looks like it. Feels like it. Good. All right. Okay, so we've got the radiator in pristine condition sitting right here. This is our, I don't know, coolant expansion tank line or something that connects all the way over here. It's kind of annoying that it's attached, but whatever. Anyways, we're going to slide this sucker back into place as it freaking pees all over my garage floor. Awesome. Make sure not to drop that on the ground. Lord Bynum, I've always had to swear in Japanese when working on my vehicles. Even my Dodge Challenger was a rebadged Mitsubishi as it was a 79. Interesting. A 79 Challenger. I'm trying to picture that, Lord Bynum. 79 Challenger. I'm assuming boxy looking. I think I lost track of what Challenger body styles look like after probably 1976 or somewhere around there. I don't know how I'm going to do this with one hand, guys. I think I'm going to have to set you guys over here for you to watch me struggle at doing this. There we go. That'll give you a prime view at the struggle. Ow! Alright, I'm just hitting my head on the bicycle handlebars. Get this lamp out of the way. The one thing that's very nice about BMW radiators is they literally just drop right in. There's nothing really holding them in the car. They just kind of sit in there. And then you got lines connected to them. I'm gonna take a vape break off camera really quick. You don't want to know. Small two-door coupe with a 4-cylinder. Oh no! Not a 4-cylinder. It sounds like a older version of their new EcoBoost Mustangs with the 4-cylinder EcoBoost engines. Actually, I'm sorry. Are they even EcoBoost? Or are they just V6? I know they have a 4-cylinder. That's it. It's in. Radiator's in. Literally just slides right in. Now it's just a matter of hooking up all the different connections, which easy one to start with is the top radiator hose. Probably flashing you guys. Alright. Oh, my Trant Stamp sweatshirt. There we go. Front radiator hose is on. Bottom radiator hose needs to go in. Again, bottom radiator hose has our focus. Come on. Bottom radiator hose has the electrical connection. Let's bring you guys back over here so maybe you can look down in this engine mess with me and kind of see what's going on. Oh no, you can't, because that would be too easy. Sounds about right. Can I get you guys situated in any form or fashion? Let us see. No. We're too side heavy. Okay, I'll just hold you. So, maybe I can get a light in here for you. Maybe that would help. Okay, so this hose right here needs to connect down here and to the water pump. So it needs to connect up here and right down there. Let's attempt to do that one-handed. All right, hopefully you can see I'm connecting it down here right now. There we go. Get our little clip unstuck and reattached. There we go. All right, radiator hose is back connected to the radiator. Whoa, let's freak the gimbal out. All right. Now we need to connect this part of the radiator hose to right here. Ricky and the Beam, damn, V12. That's right, Ricky and the Beam. We're getting the V12 back up and running. Can we hang? Can we hang? No, we can't. Can we do that? No. Okay, anyways, the radiator hose is connected to the thermostat housing. I just need to make sure it clips into place. There we go, it just clipped. Perfect. We are almost there, guys. We still got to get this AC condenser cooler unit back into this slot right here, which you can see is nice and dirty with some who knows what, feathers and leaves and cottonwood crap. Yeah, let's just dust it off and make sure it goes down in there. Perfect. Okay. Ricky and the Beam, how's it going? Good to see you. Lionel, you going to Cannes Film Festival next month to boycott the Mission Impossible movie? Its planetary premiere. Cannes Film Festival. I do not know where that is, Lionel. Also, thank you for saying hi, Lionel. Where is that located? The Cannes Film Festival? Is that in Chicago, in Illinois? France. Oh, no, I will not be going to France, unfortunately, Lionel. I wish. We are stuck here with the V12 BMW in the U.S. Don't forget electrical connector on hose. Thank you, Lord Bynum. We did not. We got that connected. You could see it if I actually had a light to shine on it. Can you see it? Can you see it? Probably still not. Where is it? It's in there somewhere. Come on, come on, come on. There it is. It's connected. We're good. All right. The next part of this thing is getting... This garage is a freaking mess. Look at, there's freaking hay on the ground. Why is there hay in here? Anyways, I don't know. This is a garage, not a freaking stable. All right. We need to get this... Oh, yeah, you know, why not have the gimbal start freaking out? We need to get this radiator fan shroud in, but we also cannot fit this in and then fit the fan in. So, again, I'm going to put you guys up on the rack over here. And by the rack, I mean this beautiful little elevator thing that my dad has built here. There we go. There we go. All right, and I'm just going to show you. Basically, I'm just going to drop this thing in. This thing right here has two little arms, one over here that folds in, and we're going to need that folded in to clearance some stuff to get this thing in. And then it's got another right here, which they both clip into something. And now that I'm looking at this, I have this whole thing upside down. There we go. Okay, so that is how it's going to go into the car. Clip on one side, clip on the other, which folds in so that we can clearance stuff. All right. It should be as easy as just sliding this in. Of course, it's not going to be, but it should be. At least that's what the BMW handbook tells me. So it's just kind of a matter of pushing everything that's in your way out of the way and then slowly kind of wriggling this thing down in there. You do need to make sure though, what are we catching on? There we go. You do need to make sure that you don't catch any cables on the way in, which we've already done. Let's get this out of there, okay. Don't catch any cables. Oh, we're still caught on a cable, of course. Okay. Not caught on any cables anymore. You need to make sure you're not catching on any cables, and you need to make sure that you are clipping this thing in at the very bottom of the radiator. So I'm going to probably get this fan partially started on here and connect the fan shroud once this fan is hanging off of the engine. This usually takes me about 10 minutes to get this stupid fan started on this big, huge bolt sticking out of it with its big, huge nut. Come on. Oh, I hate this thing so much. This is one of the worst parts. Getting this fan to start threading back on this big bolt. Everything's in your freaking... Everything's in your way. I just keep spinning this thing around, hoping one revolution will eventually thread it on, but it's just not going. And I'm definitely turning the correct way, which is, in this case, counterclockwise, because it's a reverse thread. Oh, I love this thing so much. This is so fun. It's giant threads too. Like, how can you not just start threading on? Your giant bolt, giant threads, it should just go right the heck on. Oh, I hate this thing so much. Now I'm hurting my knuckles. There's no good way to keep this thing pressed up against here and keep turning it either. Which is half the problem. Alright. Taking a break for half a second. I guess we got no more lemonade. Bonton, bro, I'm watching from a beaver bus on an 18-hour road trip. I have no idea what a beaver bus is, Bonton, but that sounds lit. I love a good road trip. Where are you going from and where are you headed to, Bonton? 18 hours? You either got to be going from like New York to Wyoming or California to Illinois, one of the two. Maybe Colorado? Oh, this is so freaking fun. Oh my god. I wish I could just sit here spinning this thing aimlessly forever. Any hour now, it'll start threading, I believe it. This is awful. I thought getting the water pump on was the hard part. Just keep spinning, just keep spinning. Guys, this thing just freaking refuses. Oh, oh. Come on. I think we did it. I think we did it. We had to have done it. It's hanging on there now. Yep, we did it. All right. Just got to sit there for about 20 minutes trying to spin it on a reverse thread and you'll finally get it. A mouse eating a broom is where the straw in my garage came from. Oh, you might be right. There was a broom. Let's see. Right there, there was a broom sitting. Maybe that was it. All right. Well, we got that on. Let's, oh my God, this gimbal though, this gimbal. Calm down, brother. All right. I fear that this shroud is not even close to being on correctly. Oh, okay, it's not too far off. I don't know if you guys can see this, but no, you really can't. There's our clip down there. That, oh, come on. There's our clip down there that needs to clip in this side for the radiator, and there's also the one that folds in that still needs to clip in down here. So let's see, can I feel where that, yeah, I can feel where that clips in. That's clipped in, okay. All right, I'm gonna pull you guys back really quick, back to where we were, and give me a second to get those situated. Also, I'm gonna check, you know, I should probably get a creeper out, since I got a huge puddle of coolant all over the floor. I'm also going to check on the bottom here that the radiator shroud is, of course it's not, going into the slots at the very bottom. There's one in, there's two in. Should just be as simple as pressing down now, from what I'm thinking. I've got to shift this over. Make sure our foldy one is in there. It does appear to feel like it is. Let's double check that our bottom clips went in. They went in. We are all clipped in. All right. Oh, I'm supposed to pick this back up. All right. Okay. Let's bring you guys back over here. All right, the radiator shroud right here. Let's, come on, gimbal. Just do your job. All right, the radiator shroud right here is back in place. Like I said, there's two tabs that slide into slots on the very bottom of this, so that's why I was looking underneath the car to make sure we had those tabs in those slots. There's also clips on both sides. Those clips are in where they should be. And now it is just a matter of clipping everything else that should be clipped on into place. This is another thing. You basically just, there's not a lot of science going on here. You basically hook one end here, pull, oh shoot, I'll just break it in the process. Pull it over and you're clipped in. Got another one down here. This one is fairly hard to do once everything's back together, but this just, I don't even know if I can do it with showing you guys because I'm so, need a light. All right. You can see there's a tab sticking out right here. There should be two, but one is broken off. You just press that down on there. Should go over 2 tabs, but that big thing right here is now in place. Should be all good on that side. We do have some stuff to wrap up under the car again. So let's go back under there. Beaver bus from Oregon State University or Canada. Oh, sorry, headphone warning, a little bit late. All right. Come under the car with me. Let's turn on this light so maybe you can see what's going on. All right, here we are underneath of the car. Can I straighten this out? Okay. So now we need to, where's my finger? We need to connect this to this. This is a heater coolant distribution block right here. And as you can see, it's nice and loose and floppy. Flops around all over the place, up, down, side, side, because it's disconnected. So, just making sure that this doesn't need to clip onto anything else that I'm not aware of. It doesn't. So, this hole should just go right over that hole. Press on nice. If I could adjust the gimbal, you could see that, come on, man. The gimbal only makes life harder. The gimbal only makes life harder. Okay, you can see that in here, this is now connected. I've pressed this on. There's this little tab right here. We're gonna press that up, which means the clip has now been sunk. Let's see, can I do this? PF, okay. This makes no sense. Okay. Hey, look, it's a 57 Chevy up on the wall. Okay. Let's get back to business here. Okay. So, you can see that we're in. Oh, we are not, though. We are not in. Okay. Let's pull this clip back down. Let's push this thing back on. And apparently we're going to have to use considerable force to make sure that this thing is on. So give me a second here while I put the camera down. You guys can look at the 57 Chevy on the wall or something. There you go. Enjoy. All right. There we go. Now I can pull on it and it doesn't come off. One more thing we need to remember here, which it looks like I've already taken care of. Oh, come on, you freaking gimbal. Just keep the bottom flat. Okay. We've also got this coolant drain plug right here, which I'm sure if I open it, it'll probably dump some coolant on the camera. Appears it's not going to. Just want to make sure that that's all the way tightened, all the way in, so that we don't drain all of the coolant that we put in back onto the floor. All right, can we fix this? There we go. Oh my God, yeah, we're gonna break the gimbal, guys. We're gonna break it. Oh, okay. Thank you to the 36 people who are hanging here with me. All right, radiator's back in. Fan shroud's back in. Fan is on, but it's not tight. So, let's address that. Let's see. Can I get this gimbal to stay? I think I can. Okay. So, the bolt for the fan, or that attaches the fan to the pulley, is right there. And what we are going to use, let's just actually, while we're here, let's get this crap back into place. This right here is the AC condenser It's going to slide into this slot right here. You want to make sure, let me turn you. You want to make sure that this cable right here, which is your hood latch cable, is out of the way. Let's see, we got one. Missing one, missing one, missing one. Okay, we got 2 of the 5 bolts in it already, so that when we start freaking out that we have lost bolts, we can calm ourselves down by remembering that 2 of them are already still in there. Stretch my hood cable up. Also, there's this line over here, which is electrical stuff. You want to make sure that that moves out of your way. And that should also, this electrical line should pop through this little slit right here. All right. And this, the AC condenser radiator should also fit overneath, you know, that's a word, overneath of the fan shroud, over the fan shroud. And that kind of holds the fan shroud down too. Because like I said, there's nothing actually holding this radiator into place, which the radiator is right under here. And there's really nothing actually holding this fan shroud into place besides tabs that go into holes. So this piece right here is basically what's holding down your radiator, your fan shroud, all of that shabazz. All right. Hood cable, not crucial that it is underneath of here on this side, but I like to tuck it up under here and then have it pop out of this little slit right here too. Thank you, Dale Simmons. Thank you, Dale. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, Dale, please do consider subscribing. We are trying to reach that 3,000 subscriber goal sometime soon, so hopefully with your guys' help, we will get there. All right. I'm going to bolt this thing down just since it's already on here, and then we'll deal with tightening up the fan because realistically the fan can come whenever it wants to, or can be done whenever it needs to be done. So let us tighten the bolts. I have found my other 3. Where are we? My other 3 bolts right here. Just going to set those there. That is not the socket. Oh no. Why do I have more bolts? Oh, I know what those are for. Okay. We're good, we're good, we're good. Okay, so one of these bolts, it doesn't really matter which one, goes right here in this center hole. Just like that. I'm just going to hand tighten these down for now. We will get the ratchet out here in just a second. Let's see, will you be able to see this other bolt? What? What is this freaking gimbal doing? Come on, bro. You can't move farther than that? This is some crap. Anyways, okay, I think you can see the hole. Yep, you can see the hole we're trying to access right here. Like I said, guys, may sound perverse, but we're literally just talking about literal things. Anyways, we've got it in the hole. That's about finger tight. No pun intended. There's another hole right here. We're going to stick this one in there. And luckily we didn't take the other 2 bolts out because you can see our bolt is in there. Luckily we didn't take the other 2 bolts out because they are literally almost impossible to see, much less get to. So that's a bolt down there. And somehow, with these hard metal AC lines, they expect you to put one of these bits in here at a 45-degree angle. This is what they tell you in the frickin' instruction book. At a 45-degree angle, insert your socket into the head of the bolt. They must have been smoking when they wrote that crap, okay? It is literally almost impossible to get this bolt in or out. In fact, I'm going to have to use something to... There we go. Okay. We just got it at a 45... You can see this whole setup right here is at a 45-degree angle, and I hope you can see that I am turning it. The bolt in there... Oh. Is kind of turning. And somehow you're supposed to get it. Engineers, yeah, for real. They're like, can it work? Yeah. Should it work like that? I mean, maybe not, but does it work? Yeah. Yeah, it works. This is so jank. So jank. I highly recommend, if you're attempting to do this, get a screwdriver or something to kind of prop the screw at kind of like a 30, 45-degree angle. Because relying... Yeah, this is not happening for me, at least the easy way. Relying on your bit to hold this screw at a slight angle, just like so, is virtually impossible, and I actually have this kind of loose fitting extension on here so that I can actually maybe let the end or the head of the bit be a little more angled than I'm angling the extension. I think we're screwing it in. I can't even tell, though. Oh. Spoke too soon. Are we turning it? Yeah. Is it going in? No. Oh, you gotta love these Germans. Gots to love them. All right. Take 3. I think we're gonna have to get our screwdriver back out to freaking pry this thing kind of out of here. Oh, I see part of the problem too. We ain't aligned with the freaking hole. Now we are. Can you guys even see what's going on here? Way down in here. That's what we're trying to access. Wobble head connector. There we go, Lord Bynum. Wobble head connector. Shoot. Now you can see it, but we're at such a freaking... Yeah, look at there. There we go. You just touch it and it goes right back. That's the other thing about BMWs. You think you're getting close to the end, and by the time you're getting close to the end, you're just getting started. The fun has only just begun. You guys probably thought we were about to wrap this thing up freaking hour and a half ago. Nope. It's because we're not screaming yet, guys. Once we start screaming, then shit starts happening, but... Alright, again, I feel, yes, as if we are turning, but nothing is going down. I'm going to set you all down for a half a second here. Feel free to watch me struggle and scream. Okay. Where is my light? Okay, I see part of the problem here. We need to align these holes, and we do not have enough hands You suck, you suck, you suck. Come on. The more you yell at it, the more it thinks about maybe doing it. Felt like we had engagement there, but of course, you know, that'd be ridiculous. Whoa! Almost lost the gimbal there. All right, setting you guys back up on safety. Let's see if we can, something like that. My phone's definitely gonna die before we get this done. We did it. We freaking did it. Okay. I'm not taking the socket out. I'm just tightening this one up because I do not want to have to stick the socket back in here again. Awesome. All right. Let me grab you guys again. Yeah, you know, why not freak out some more gimbal? All right. Our last bolt right there. And we're just gonna sink this one in. Tighten it up. Tight. Let's do this one. Well, you know, that should be getting tight. What do we have wrong here? Well, it's not coming out, so I'm gonna call that good enough on that side. See, we got one right in here. I always feel like this one's gonna break the plastic off. All right, that's good enough. And then our last one is right there. BMW, big money waster. Yeah, you're not wrong, Jonathan. Big money waster, big time waster, big parts waster, big all the above waster, big waster. Big fuel waster if you got the V12, yeah, 100%, big waster. Kind of like the Dodge 5.7 with Ecotech. I honestly have no idea what that is, Jonathan, but if it's Dodge, it does kind of sound like a nightmare too. Pull the paper towel out from in front of the radiator. Well, you're right, Lord Bynum. Should have done that ages ago. It was the third starter I put on my Toyota pickup before I found the access panel in the passenger front wheel well. You know, I think I have had a very similar experience on a Toyota 4Runner. very much struggling to get a starter out of the lower engine area on a 4Runner, and then after we got the starter out, I realized that there's an access panel. Anyways, engines always get the best of us, anyway, or at least me. We got the paper towel out, check. Okay. Let's set this up on here somehow. I don't trust like that. Oh no. Okay. I'm still not sure if I trust like that, but we're gonna see. Oh, and of course, you can't even see anything, so a lot of good that would do, right? Okay. Also, please don't tell me this was supposed to go under everything. And I feel like it was. Am I right? This feels like this is supposed to be under stuff, and right now it's over stuff. Oh, god dang it. Yes, I think I'm a bit scared to start flexing this plastic tube around. I feel like that is going to break. So I think I'm probably going to have to pull this thing back out. Let's see. I don't know. Yeah, I think, again, one step forward, two steps back. I think we're going to have to pull this whole thing that I just freaking set in here back out. The whole thing. All right. I'm just going to do it. No regrets. Somehow I still have 34 of you who have not started leaving because you felt the urge to pull your hair out. It amazes me, but thank you for being here. We're pulling the whole thing out again. We didn't have enough fun or learn our lesson on the first try. Like I said, guys, you thought we were gonna have this thing just slapped in and put right back together, but it's never that easy. The last eighth is as long as the first 3/4. It's usually how it always goes. What in the heck? Started stripping plastic. Awesome, beautiful. Well, that's why that one didn't get tight. Okay. I don't know how we did that one. It didn't even feel like it got tight at all, but anyway, whatever. Now we got another chance to strip some more of these, so might as well do it while we're in here, right? All right. If you're doing this at home, don't forget to put this stupid long coolant. Calm down, Gimbal. All right. Don't forget to put this stupid long coolant pipe in before you frickin' put this dumb frickin' I don't even know what it's called. Dumb frickin' AC condenser back in here. All right. Now we just do exactly what we just did. Now that we got the coolant line back where it's supposed to be. Piece of crap. Also make sure that the coolant line that you just flipped underneath of those lines isn't underneath this whole shebang. Okay. There we go. Except we gotta tighten it back down again, which was the biggest pain in the ass ever, but we got it, we got it, we got it. Let's start with the hard one first. What did I do with the ratchet? There it is. Can you guys see what's kind of going on? Kinda. Pull the paper towel out. Yep, but we did it. All right, awesome. We're on track. We're on track. Let's start with the most annoying one and work our way backwards. Seems like a good plan to me. I wonder if I can get this started with a flathead screwdriver. No, that would be insane. That would just be insane. Come on. No, all right. There we go. Come on, let me feel tightness. Come on. Oh, 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 we did it. All right, there's one in. There's two in. Why does that feel like a cross-threading? Three in. Four in. Five in. All right. Our cooling stack is back in a stack. Oh, what is last? Put this tube in. All right. You know, I just found the water in here, so let's take a drink. Why not? Lovely. Yeah, let's just send the gimbal into a pure rage. Let's do that too. Oh, all right. BMW, yeah, dirt and gears, BMW. What wrong with it? We blew the coolant transfer pipe gasket, which is behind the water pump, and we used, where is it? Where is it, where is it, where is it? All right, there it is. We used this Bimmerfix Stent Fix kit. The other thing that I just remembered is, oh, what is this? Oh, okay. What an interesting packaging. I've never in my life seen bubble wrap packaging that has a opening crease to it. Very interesting. Anyways, yes, I forgot to pour. So nice that they packaged this in a literally Ziploc brand Ziploc bag. Anyways, I totally forgot to pour this into the cooling system, which I'm actually going to wait till tomorrow until I have coolant to pour in the cooling system so this kind of can disperse in there and not just pool and sit overnight. But this should have been poured in that top coolant line for the radiator. We're going to do that tomorrow. Again, this is the brand that we used for the fix. Okay, gotcha. I know it doesn't have any gas in it. I know it doesn't have any gas in it. No, there's a full tank of gas in there that I haven't been able to use because the water pump blew. So we're itching and ready to start burning some of that gas. Well, here's another friggin' paper towel while we're buying them. All right. Just gonna start creating a pile of trash. Okay. Now we need to retighten the fan, and for that we're going to use this end of a pulley wrench is what I would call it. These two holes go around the bolts that connect the pulley to the water pump, and that will hold the water pump from spinning or spinning underneath of the belt. And then this wrench right here will go over the nut for the fan, which attaches to the water pump and the belt, and that will tighten the nut while this is holding the water pump pulley and threaded shaft in place. So hopefully that was self-explanatory enough, because it's going to be impossible to show you, unfortunately. Okay, I guess let's start tightening. And we're going lefty loosey, righty tighty, so the opposite direction to tighten. Put this thing on here. There we go. Alright, realistically you shouldn't have to put much tension on that at all, because the reverse threads will allow it to essentially self-tighten. Can't forget our radiator cap. Set that there. Air filter is going to go back in. Always good to beat out your air filter. If any dust or anything's gotten onto it, you can see this is the side that goes facing the air coming in. You can see there's some dust and crap on it. And this is the side that goes towards the engine. And there should not be anything on that side whatsoever. So let's install this back into the slot, minus the long strand of hair sticking out of it. Right, let's grab you guys. Let's freak the gimbal out some more. Fan hydraulic. Yes, the fan is hydraulic. Jaspin Rainey. You're correct, but basically it works just like a normal pulley fan. The hydraulic aspect of it is kind of more like a torque converter on a car. It will allow the fan to spin. Oh, let's see if we can get a freaking light in here. It will allow the fan to spin independently, so you can see that that bolt right there is not turning. It will allow the fan to spin independently of the pulley which it's attached to, but also once it gets going, the friction from that liquid touching both surfaces slowly starts to grab both surfaces and forces the fan to turn. So it's a liquid clutch. Is that what you said? Fan hydraulic, yeah. Hydraulic coupling is what you would call it. All right. This piece right here is literally just a sound baffle. It's going to go underneath of this other piece over here. You can see that lined up our intake throttle body, or whatever you want to call it, intake throttle plate thing, and our tube. We got our stupid K&N air filter on there so that everybody makes fun of us. Where are we? There we are. So now we're just going to press that back on. Beautiful. All right, now let's struggle to get this airbox cover properly seated. For some reason, these BMWs have one of the simplest air filter box designs, yet it is still a struggle to put it all together. So there we go, 2 clips, 2 things slide in, that's clipped. Mass airflow sensor right here. This engine, some engines have mass airflow sensors, some engines have manifold absolute pressure sensors, and some engines have both. So this engine has a mass airflow, MAF sensor, and also back here behind the engine, this little black box right here, 2 screws on both sides. That is the manifold absolute pressure sensor way back there. All right, so the only thing that we have to do left is get our core support back in, and it'll start looking like a normal car again, which this is the core support. Boom, shakalaka. Let's bolt that back on, and then the only thing left is just a little tiny plastic plate that goes right over this area right here. So let's bolt her on, bolt her up, and seal her up and send her on her way, right? Get her the heck out of here. Lord Bynum, no coolant in it though? Yeah, no coolant yet. I wasn't able to purchase coolant today. I got home at like 6:30 and then tried to go to the auto parts store and they were closing by the time I showed up, so. A bit unfortunate, but you know, Scientology calls, Lord Bynum, Scientology calls. Or at least protesting Scientology calls. I'm sure there's a few people in here who aren't familiar with the regular content, and we do not support Scientology. Why you no go in? I feel like this thing wants to cross-thread like a SOB. There we go. All right. Oh, where is the bit? Where is the bit? That is it. Let's see, what do you guys say in the chat? Oh, the gimbal's just gonna freak out, okay. My first time, oh jeez, come on, gimbal. You might as well just die at this point. You might as well just die. 23%, come on, just go out. My first time watching a real-time mechanic working on a vehicle on YouTube. Awesome, Daniel Perez. Please subscribe if you're interested in more mechanical videos. We are about wrapped up here. We're just getting the front core support back on this BMW. Blue coolant or green coolant. Just like Jeep fan, too. Oh, interesting. I did not know that Jeep's fans were hydraulic as well, but that doesn't surprise me. Most stuff nowadays is pretty similar. Don't see a whole lot of innovation, unfortunately, in the automotive industry, but now with the battery stuff, you're kind of seeing some different configurations. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Daniel Perez. Most vehicles use the hydraulic fan clutches. Yes, yes, very true. Why does this not feel like it just get... Oh, there we go. Unfortunately, we're missing one down here. There are just no threads, so apparently that one's not getting one. All right. Yeah, Jaspin Rainey. Sound about right. Yep. Jaspin, this car, or I think honestly most BMWs require the blue coolant. I don't think you can mix blue and green together without having some slightly adverse effects. So, for future reference, if it's a BMW, just err on the safe side, go blue coolant. All right, that is that. Let's go get our plastics, guys. Yeah, there's nothing like hiding some ugly engine features with some plastic. Perfect. And of course we got 4 bolts to screw in for this chunk of plastic that does nothing, but you know, came on the car, so it's got to go back on the car. Quick Google was saying the blue is a silicate-based coolant. Interesting. I've never actually looked that up. Lord Bynum. Silicate-based coolant. Trying to... Silicate. I know what silica sand is, but I, for some reason, think that those are 2 very different things.